Hunks and P.
Not that face.
What? I had a boss who just recently quit, and she was truly the most foul person on the face of this earth. She was from the suburbs, hugely racist, and was terrified when our office moved to downtown Buffalo, New York. She had to walk from her car across the street inside the building and was constantly concerned with her safety because it's a predominantly Black area.
Oh, wow.
She once she sounds like a real peach. She once uttered the phrase, "The only Black life that matters to me is my horse."
She did not. Oh, this is a wicked woman.
This is a wicked beast of a broad. I hope the horse kicked her.
I hope it did too.
She was also terrified to live near the University of Buffalo when COVID started because it was a large Asian student body, and she was sure they were spreading it and would tell anyone who would listen.
Oh, this is mental illness at its finest.
You know what it is too?
Fear-mongering mental illness.
So she has something in her life that she's not able to face.
Yep.
So instead, she's just really leaning in full force to this ignorance because that's providing her a little safe place under this, dare I say, retarded umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely. This retarded umbrella.
I can say that I have epilepsy.
I can say that I have ADHD.
Perfect. Physically, she was repulsive. She had fried red hair and huge yellow buck teeth that made her look like Peter Pettigrew from Harry Potter.
Stop. It's giving Ronald McDonald.
And she attached a picture below, so don't worry, y'all. She had really long yellow toenails and always wore open-toed sandals in the summer. Okay, she's really giving beast.
She wanted to be at the insurrection so bad.
She did.
Yeah.
But her toenails probably prevented her from getting there.
Yeah.
And always wore open-toed sandals in the summer. All right. Once during an ice storm in the winter, she took off her shoes to get inside because it was so slick. I presume she just sliced her toenails through the ice to make it into the building. And they come in
some
handy.
kind of claw.
Yeah. She may be racist, but she is a crafty one. The only reason she worked with us was because her husband died by suicide. I wonder whose fault it was.
Yeah.
And our boss at the time felt sorry for her. He overdosed on Tylenol, pussy, and on...
It's okay, you can say it.
Okay. And on that just slipped out. It slipped out.
Say the stories.
It was a seizure, so you guys can't get me in trouble. And if you guys get mad at me, you're ableist. And honestly, I can't blame him because if I had to live with her, I would too.
You can overdose on Tylenol?
You can overdose on almost anything.
Yeah.
Not you looking to leave for the answer. I also had to go to a summer meeting at her house, and we all sat on her patio. The smell of cat piss from inside the house was overpowering through the patio door and outside into our noses. She only had one cat, but it was old, pissed uncontrollably, and she didn't clean up after it.
No.
Thank you guys for everything you do. All the best.
Oh.
And that's Pizza Pettigrew.
And there he is, and there's Peter Pettigrew.
Oi, 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 oi.
So it's funny because as I read over a few of these stories, a lot of them have kind of the same through line that seem to be insanely racist, homophobic, and like these kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of those happening. A lot, it's very it's a very relevant type of person right now. This kind of person. Don't want to get too into it. I'll say this. Sorry, Honk, that I have to say it again.
No, say it again.
Real quick. My dad called me this morning and he goes, "You heard about these pedophile rings in Hollywood?" And I go, "Please don't." "Please don't." I said, "Dad, you have to stop reading this right now." I was like trying to save him. And I was like, these are right-wing conspiracy theories. You can't. He goes, "You can't believe this." And he goes, "How can I not believe it when it's all around?" And I said, no, not you too. Not you. And then he goes on his whole thing about Bill Gates. And
he's a little late to the Q train, to be honest.
He's kind of late to the Q train.
But he got there, Lee.
But he got there. He did get there. I said,
he was the last stop on the way.
Yeah, I said, you want to talk about where this stems from? Why don't you look at fundamentalist Christianity? Why don't you look at the churches where this is actually coming from? He can't look at that. He changes the subject. He goes,
once it gets too real.
Once it gets too real, he can't do it. And he goes, well, what about, he redirects the conversation. He goes, well, what about trans people running in races? I go, what about it? He goes, well, do you think it's fair that that these men should be running in women's races? I go, I don't have an opinion. He goes, you should. And I go, Why?
And hey, John, how many races you watching? You watching a lot of races, John?
Yeah, you sitting around tuning in?
You thinking about joining?
Yeah.
Oh, he goes, 800,000 children go missing a year in the United States. I go, yeah, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it, John?
There's not a trans underground layer.
No, but they think that there is a trans underground layer that's filled with lizard people that's taking children.
It's like underneath the Denver airport.
They really do. Like they're taking the white precious children and they're sucking their blood. I can't.
See, my thing is that where you at? I'll join.
Lee wants what they've got.
Lee wants
I want everything they've got.
Well, you know what?
The money,
the
power, the influence.
Come on.
Bring it on, the lizard.
Come on, the lizard.
Lee loves lizards.
The immortal life.
Not the fingers, Lee. Don't tickle your little fingers like that.
It's this weird, this Hollywood elite stuff. I can't. It just it baffles me.
I can't even get into it just for my own state because it's just not rooted in logic, and you just go, okay, yeah.
But
because
it's like
you start. Well, and I totally get. I'm not clowning on you. Like I totally get why you would get frustrated because it is frustrating to talk to someone when you want
my dad.
When it's your father, and like you love your dad and you want to be close to him. And so when someone's saying something that you vehemently disagree with, it's a human reaction to go, Dad, like this is hurting because it's hurting you.
Because it's not even that I disagree. It's that it's so ignorant. It's so not rooted in reality.
Yeah,
any kind of logic, and it is painful to hear it because I'm like, please don't. Please.
Well, it's also like
think a little bit.
All the worst parts of the internet are just like in speaking to you
and
now.
They're preying on people who are not super educated, who are stuck in little bubbles. And this is like, my dad has been stuck in his like little San Diego bubble his whole life.
He is
he's the perfect target.
No, he's the prime thing.
He's who they want.
Well, he is.
And so Gab and I were talking about this this morning when it happened.
Starting to ramp back up because Trump is the whole Trump.
No, he was just
arrested. He was just freaking indicted this morning.
Yeah. But when we were talking about
that.
Yeah, I know, but that's fine. I really don't care. But when you and I were talking this morning, I was bringing up to you that I have someone in my family who, granted, it's not a close family member. It's not like in my immediate family, but he is in my family. And he also is the prime for the picking person to be a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. Someone who has, like your father, a deep childhood trauma that never really got addressed.
Uneducated.
And it's something that's almost like it's like something you don't even want to imagine. It's so dark and painful. Mm-hmm. And so he had that happen to him. He's not highly educated. He leaves jobs a lot. He's had a lot of solitary jobs. So he just listens to a bunch of podcasts, and so you can just like kind of fall in to whatever. And when I just saw him on Thanksgiving, all you can do just to keep the peace is just go, okay, all right. Yeah. But talking about how, the ocean's actually space and there's cameras in the stars and everyone's watching it. And you're like, all right, okay. But to me, it's just yet another form of escapism. Now, granted, when you start talking about, you can't just, I feel like I'm speaking from a privileged point of view to just go like, all right, you just have to laugh it off because like if he's going, what am I trying to say? Sorry, guys. When he's saying, if he's talking about trans people, Jewish people, Black people, if you're talking about marginalized groups,
all things he talks about,
then you can't just go like, there he goes again. No,
silly.
What a knee slapper that was.
But you kind of do at the same time.
It's a fine line. It's to say, hey, that's not, to set a boundary. Yeah. But then also you have to. It's hard not to just get wrapped up in that chaos with them because they're also using that ignorance as a form of escape. Yeah. Because currently your dad has a deep, a deep wound that he's not addressing. My cousin has something that is horrific that happened to him. Yeah. And instead of whatever the hell they're doing, they're going down these chaotic, oftentimes hurtful wormholes.
Yeah. And it's like it's all a lack of having taken care of something that really traumatized them. It's all fear-based. It's all because I swear, it's like, I don't know if every conspiracy theorist, obviously, like it's a blanket statement to say that like every conspiracy theorist has been through something highly traumatic, but like it is this way that they manifest instead of like taking care of the actual pain that they've experienced in their own lives, of like displacing it and being like, I got to be mad at this and this, and I have to blame trans people for this, and everybody's a pervert. And you're like, Oh my God, no. You're just so deeply hurt and confused. You don't know what to do with this thing that you've never worked through. So you're finding things to grab onto.
We talked about this when the Andrew, what's his name? Callaway?
Callahan?
Whatever.
Yeah.
The dude that did that documentary
Yeah.
on HBO, when that was coming out, it is interesting how the left and the right, where people meet in the middle, is distrust of the government and big pharma and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it does baffle me. I'm like, why can we just like drop the hate towards the other side?
We're talking about the all gas, just to
all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to fill.
Yeah. But I'm just like, that to me is just wild. And now we're getting off on a tangent, so we can get back to it. But just to end on that, I do just think it's.
You guys aren't here for the politics, you're here for the tea, but yeah, it all.
They said comedy, politics.